Hi, I'm Henry. I'm a parts technician here at Fretz RV. I'm going to show you a walkthrough of our parts department and the recommended items for you to get with your first RV or your next RV's purchase. So we're going to start over here in the plumbing aisle, as I always start when we take customers through the parts store. And we're going to start with the Water Bandit, which is one of the smallest and cheapest items that you're going to find on this list, but it's also one of those items that when you find yourself in a jam, you're going to be thankful you have. So the Water Bandit, what it is it's a silicone jacket with a fresh metal threading on the end. And when you get to a campsite and you find that the threads on the spigot that you hook your hose to are stripped out, this boot actually squeezes itself over top of that and gives you fresh threads to work with. Moving on from the Water Bandit, we're of course going to talk about water hoses. And in the RV industry, there are a ton of water hoses. One of the biggest misconceptions is that you can take just a regular garden hose and use that for your freshwater fill. The problem with that is the liner that is inside of a garden hose is actually going to allow bacteria to grow and in the end cause a smell to come from your freshwater system. So all the hoses we sell have a drinking water safe liner in them. They are generally what you would find, these white vinyl hoses. These can be pretty tough to work with, especially in the cold, and they love to retain their shape. So we actually started carrying the Techner Apex Zero G hoses. These are a fabric jacket hose. They have a drinking water safe liner inside of them, heavy duty metal ends on them, and they are not the gimmicky hoses that expand and contract. So moving from there, we always recommend a water pressure regulator. Now, with water pressure regulators, there are two different varieties of them. We're going to ignore the gauged version because they really aren't all that necessary in most RVers' lives. What we're going to focus on is the standard pressure water pressure regulator, which is 40 to 50 psi, and the high flow, which is 50 to 55 psi. And the way you make the distinction between which one of the two you're going to get is if your RV has either a whole house water filter or if you're going to use one of the exterior water filters that I recommend. If you're not going to use an exterior water filter, or if your RV does not have a whole house water filter, you will use a standard pressure water pressure regulator. But if you have a whole house water filter or one of the exterior water filters from Camco, we do recommend the high flow. Reason is these water filters will cut roughly 5 psi out of the system, so the extra 5 psi that this allows through in the end will give you regular water pressure and give you the best water pressure throughout the unit. So, talking about water filters, if you're going to use an external water filter and just a regular water filter to get out as much contaminants and particulate as you can, we do recommend Camco's Blue Filter. The starter pack comes with a hose saver and your water filter. These are disposable water filters. They will last you somewhere between 3 and 6 months. Once you have used the life of this water filter, you can come in and buy a 2-pack, and that'll hopefully last you between 6 months and a year and allow you to enjoy fresh water while you're camping. Now, every time I take people through the store, I always make sure to tell them the shower heads that typically come with an RV, they're not the best. They don't provide you a home-like feel to your shower. So there's many shower heads out here that have tried to give a more household feel to the shower in an RV. The ones we found that actually provide a household-like shower are the Oxygenic shower heads. Both of these use a special water module that is installed right on the spigot. And it controls the flow, but it also controls the pulse of it, which will cut down on water use. In the end, these do boost the pressure a little bit, which gives you more of a household feel. It's not a necessity, but a lot of customers do find that to be a welcomed tip. So we're going to move pretty far down the aisle here. We're going to head down to our sewer section. Freshwater is just one aspect of the shower or the plumbing system within an RV. Next, you have to worry about your gray water and your black water. And within that, there are a lot of chemicals that have been produced to attempt to deodorize the black water system and to help keep the black water system healthy. There's been a big push recently in the industry to switch to a solid enzyme solution. And the problem with solid enzyme solutions, whether it be from any one of the big name brands that are out there, is that enzyme-only solutions, they are essentially going to break large waste into small waste and mask it with a fragrance of some sort. It's not doing anything to actively make the black tank system healthier, and in the end, it won't work that way in a gray tank system. So we brought in a product from Unique Camping and Marine. It's called RV Digest It. And what sets this apart from most of the other products that are out there is it is a probiotic blend, meaning that it has non-pathogenic good bacteria in it. This bacteria in this bottle is completely inert. But the moment it hits water, which of course is going to be in the black tank, this bacteria comes to life, it flicks out enzymes. Those enzymes break the waste down, and then the bacteria actually physically goes, eats and digests the waste, expelling water and carbon dioxide. There's no masking of scent because it's actually just getting rid of the odors at its source. One of the downsides of Unique's product, though, is it's a living, breathing culture, and as such, using any type of harsh chemical, vinegars even, to clean your toilet will end up killing the bacteria culture that you will develop within the tank. So with that, they do have their own toilet cleaner, which uses the same bacteria in a different solution, and they also have a tank cleaner that is specially designed, again, with the same bacteria in a different solution. These products, I do recommend grabbing all three of them in a liquid form right when you pick up. They are excellent to work with, and when you pick up from Fretz, we have the 6 placard pack of the Unique method, which we provide free of charge to you, so that way you get the ultimate education about your black and gray system. Now, of course, you gotta find something to empty that waste, and to do that, we sell the Titan sewer hose kits. We generally sell the 15-foot kits. These are a very high-duty TPE hose. They are crushable, and they will spring right back into shape. The kits, they're a 15-foot solid hose. They come with the end caps, and they come with the 90-degree turn down, and it is all ready to rock and roll for you. And this is the best way to keep you from getting waste on your hands. It has a large coupling, so there's no more playing around, especially in the dark, trying to figure out how to get this hooked up and struggling with that. Next, of course, you have to use RV or marine toilet paper. There are many sites out there that will tell you you can use septic safe. Those sites are incorrect. The septic safe toilet paper is meant to sit in solution for 30, 60, 90 days, and it will eventually break down. But in an RV system, we are cycling out that tank and dumping it so often that that stuff has no ability to actually break down. And what happens is you actually get what's called a diamond plug in the tank. Eventually that's going to slide down to the termination valve and block up your whole tank. We don't want to deal with that. So we do sell Thetford Aquasoft, which is a 2-ply toilet paper. This stuff will break apart once it hits the black tank, and it will actually drain a lot easier, and you will avoid those diamond plugs. Next, we're going to head over into the Housewares section, because there is one item that I always show people on the tour around the parts department that is very important, especially with a gas absorption fridge. So we'll head over there. All right, we're over here in the Housewares section. In this section, you'll find everything from cupboard bars to refrigerator bars, thermometers to make sure your refrigerator is cooling properly, and other awesome items to help around the kitchen and other parts of the house of the RV. But one item I always stop to show people if they have a gas absorption fridge is this fridge fan. Now, this will not apply to people that have units that come with a 12-volt compressor fan fridge, or even a 110-volt compressor fridge. But this will apply to people with gas absorption fridges. This little tiny fan right here is a battery-powered fan. It takes 2 D batteries. You turn it on, place it on the bottom shelf in the middle of the fridge, and what this will help do is circulate the air within the fridge. Compressor fridge or gas absorption fridges, they have a problem where they get cool patches and warm patches. This fan will help solve that problem and ensure that cooling is happening around the entire RV fridge. So we're going to move down here to leveling and talk about another thing pertaining to the fridge, and then how to solve that problem. This is the cheapest item on the tour at $4, but this is a bullseye level. So what this does, there's one singular bubble and a little bullseye. We don't recommend mounting this in the fridge, but if you want to ensure that your RV's fridge is going to run optimally and you're willing to potentially have the RV be a little off level in some cases, this bullseye level will actually just throw it in the bottom shelf of the fridge, level out your RV until the bubble is in the middle, and then all you have to do is turn on your fridge and you're ready to go. This will ensure that the fridge runs optimally. As I said, RV fridges, if they are off level in any way, shape, or form, they will start to begin to build air pockets, which can cause the fridge to function abnormally or even not function at all. So how do we level out our RV if we don't have a leveling system and we're using stabilizer jacks, which are not meant for leveling, and just your tongue jack and the wheels? That's where we come over here to Lynx Levelers, as I jokingly call them, adult Legos. So with these, you buy them 10 to a pack. You can build ramps to ride the RV's wheels up onto to help level out the system. You can build stacks under stabilizer jacks or even under the tongue jacks. This is the optimal way to help level out your RV. Now, with this, you can't use a standard set of wheel chocks. These wheel chocks won't work if you've leveled out on 2 pads. So, a way to solve that problem is to buy an X-Chalk. X-Chalk is a ratcheting wheel chalk. It's placed in between the wheels on an RV, and then what you do is you actually ratchet out the 2 sets of pads. They grip the wheel, squeeze the wheels, and immobilize them from moving. It's a lot better than a standard set of wheel chocks, even if you're not using the Lynx Levelers, but you can get away with a standard pair of wheel chocks if you're trying to save some money somewhere. We're going to head over to electrical next and talk about some of the most important things to consider when you are picking up your new RV. So the information I'm going to talk about here in the electrical section applies to both 30 and 50 amp units, but you will have to change out what adapters you get accordingly. So for the 30 amp units, when you're picking up, there are 2 specific adapters that we do recommend carrying. The first is a 30 to 15 adapter. So the use for this is hooking up when you're storing your RV at home. On this adapter, we do not at all recommend you starting either your air conditioner or any other high amperage device. It will melt the plug. But a good use for this adapter is to start firing up your fridge 2 to 3 days before your trip, so that way you can cool down your fridge properly. One of the things people always call about is their RV fridge not cooling properly, and usually it's because they fired it up the day of their trip. RV fridges, you want to cool them down 2 to 3 days, as I said, ahead of your trip, and this device will help you do it on electricity. Next adapter for a 30 amp unit would be this, the 50 to 30 amp adapter. So it's not too prevalent around here in Pennsylvania, but it's becoming more prevalent in other states where campsites are switching out their 30 amp plugs to 50 amp plugs. Now, a 30 amp camper can function perfectly fine on a 50 amp plug as long as you have this adapter, and we have them more than readily in stock here at Fretz RV. Now, if you're a 50 amp unit, we're going to go in a reverse way. So, first, you'll have your 50 to 15 for the same things I said with the 30 to 15, but then the other adapter for 50 amp units to carry is actually a 50 to 30 adapter. As I said, not all campgrounds are switching out their plugs to all 50, and if you have a 50 amp unit and you get to a campsite, you may find out that it's a 30, or you may find out that where you want to stay only has 30s available. This will allow you to use most of the functionality of the RV. If you have 2 ACs, you'll have to use them independently of each other. You can't use them both at the same time. It would fry the plug. Now, the most important thing I show people when we walk them through the RV parts department is a surge protector. Now, many people think they can buy one of the basic surge protectors and be protected against everything. And while it will protect you against surges and it will protect you against that type of issue, what it won't do is alert you and shut down if there's another power issue. On the Fretz RV YouTube, you can actually find a more in-depth review of both of these products. But to give a brief overview, the Epo Power Watchdogs are the ones we sell the most of. And because these surge protectors also include a little computer inside of them and something called EPO, Emergency Power Off. So they'll protect you against surge. But beyond that, what they'll also do is if they detect an anomaly within the power, they will actually shut themselves off and begin scanning that power source every 90 seconds until it's resolved itself. Once it has, it will turn back on. In the long run, what this does is it helps save you from replacing circuit boards in your furnace, your water heater, your fridge, sensitive electronics through the RV, and as RVs become more technically advanced, the amount of sensitive electronics is going up. These things become a massive money saver in the long run. So next we're going to head over to the chemical section and show you all the chemicals that you should carry and some of the emergency repair items that we carry here in the store that we recommend you carry with you at all times. Alright, so we're over here in the chemical area of the store, and there is another video on the Fretz RV YouTube channel of me doing a more in-depth discussion on the BioClean products, but we're going to do a little brief overview of the products we recommend from them to pick up when you pick up your first RV, and then some other chemicals that you should also carry with you. So to keep your outsides of your RV shining and to keep them from being beaten down by UV rays, we do recommend picking up a gallon or even the 32 ounce of Clean Wash by BioClean. It has both a wash, wax, and polymer all built into one with a UV protectant. It's a really good product and it's clean and green. The other product from them we do recommend picking up is their RV roof. This again is a cleaner and protectant with a UV layer in it. And we do recommend taking care of your rubber TPO roofs at least twice a year, if not more. Some of the other products that we do recommend with new campers is the Out Lubricant. This lubricant, you have to be careful though. With this lubricant, you are not supposed to use it on a Schwintex system, and you're not supposed to use it on the ball cable-driven slides. The only ones that you want to use this on are the through frame under the slide-out rail systems. With that being said, all slide-outs have seals, and the seals will eventually go bad if you don't take care of them. And that's where the seal conditioner comes in. We do recommend that you pick up a can of that and at least do it twice a year. It's a foam, it will absorb into the seal and keep them nice and healthy. Another little product that we carry here that we like to show all the customers is T9 by BoShield. This is a rust and corrosion protectant and a waterproof lubricant. So it dries, but it stays slick. This is great for use on steps, whether motorized or manual, your stab jacks, your tongue jack, anything that you don't want a greasy lubricant to catch debris. Great product that we carry here. We're going to head down here to where we have some of our emergency items and show you some of the things that you should carry with you if something goes wrong. Now, remember that RVing mostly is done under trees, and trees like to drop branches. And with a lot of our RVs being made with either TPO, EPDM roofs, and with fabric awnings, they can puncture things. So one of the products we do recommend to carry is a roll of Extreme. This stuff is an emergency patch for an RV roof that can be made permanent if you handle it properly. So this product, one of the things to remember, if a branch falls and punctures your roof, of course clean the area. Dawn dish detergent diluted with water is a great way to do it on a rag. Cut a circular patch roughly an inch bigger than the hole itself and put this down. It is self-adhesive, and do not stick this where you don't want it to be stuck because you will not get it off. Another product that we also carry in the store here is awning repair tape. Awnings get punctured by branches all the time. We're replacing fabrics throughout the year here at Fretz, and this product can help you avoid that if you need to. This is a self-adhesive tape. It is clear and it goes on translucent. What you do with this is when the branch punctures your awning, of course clean the area, take it, put a piece up top and a piece underneath the fabric. That'll help seal it and keep water from running through. You will, of course, want to replace the fabric as soon as possible because that tear will eventually start to continue the run up or down the awning. Now, I was talking about sealing the patches. Now, RVs, you got to remember one thing about them. They are a house going through an earthquake and a hurricane but at the same time. Things are going to move, and so with that, you need to be checking the sealants on your RV at least twice a year. Getting up on the roof, cleaning them, checking the sealants around the outsides of the RV, around the plumbing caps, around the vents. Never touch your AC. There will not be caulk around the AC. They are sealed with a foam gasket. Now on EPDM and TPO roofs, you're going to want to use a self-leveling rubber roof sealer. If it's on the horizontal, if it's on a vertical, you're going to want to use a non-sag rubber roof sealant. For the case of white roofs, 501 LSW is pretty much your universal self-leveling rubber roof sealant, and 551 LSW is your universal non-sag sealant. With the patches, what I was saying about making them permanent is you can use this sealant in conjunction with the patch, seal around the patch, and actually make that a permanent fix if you don't have the time or money to get your roof replaced. It doesn't guarantee there won't be a leak, but it will help you prevent one the best way you can. Now on the sides of the RV, they are sealed with silicone. And you can use something like Sudacil RTV2 if you wanted to, but I recommend ProFlex. It's a flexible silicone sealant. It's paintable. This stuff is awesome, and like the roof, you want to be checking the sealants around your windows, all the vents on the sides, at least twice a year as well. One last thing we're going to show you is we're going to head back up to the front. We're going to show you an add-on that I do recommend with every single RV out there. Alright, so we're going to show you one last little item, and it's not a necessity, but it is an item that I do recommend to anybody towing a trailer, and even if you get a motorhome that doesn't have a camera system on it. And this is the VisionWorks 7-inch wireless camera system. What you'll find at a lot of RV dealerships is that they sell you either the Furrion or the Voyager. Those are the two most common RV camera systems, observation systems that you'll find on the market. What we did here at Fretz is we wanted to source out a product that was unique to us, that was higher quality than anything else out there on the market, and we landed here with the VisionWorks system. This is a 7-inch wireless system. It's got a full HD camera. It's got 18 IR LEDs. It is a metal housing camera. Now, what's coolest about this company is many units are prepped for either the Furrion or the Voyager, as I said. This system comes with the Furrion mount, and we can get the Voyager mount for it too, so it can actually go right in place where the system was designed to be mounted, and it's not going to require any major modification to your trailer. Now, the system comes with a cup holder mount, as you can see here. It also comes with a suction cup mount if you wanted to attach it to your window. And like the Furrion system, it is expandable. This system can handle up to 4 cameras, and the side view cameras for this are coming out right around March, so look forward to those. But if you're looking for a high quality camera with a great warranty, 3 years from a company that will answer you on the first ring, this is the company to buy it from, and we have them right here at Fretz for $4.99. I hope you enjoyed our walkthrough of the Fretz RV parts department. There is a lot more in this department than I showed here, but the products I showed here are products that I have found over the last almost 10 years of me doing this are needed for every single customer that picks up a unit from us. There are more things available, like this awesome Kuma chair to enjoy while you're sitting by the campfire. And of course, as always, when you walk in the Fretz RV parts department, we are more than willing to help show you whatever you're looking for. We look forward to seeing you.